Are you thinking about visiting the UK anytime soon? Are your friends and family members coming over to visit you as well? And you have no idea how to apply for a visitor's visa? I got you. So today I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about a visitor's visa and all of the documents that you need to prepare for. So ensure that you watch the video till the end. One thing I like about the UK immigration system is the fact that you don't have to do an interview when you are coming into the country. So even on a work visa or on a visitor's visa, you don't have to do an interview as compared to countries like the US where you do an interview. So in today's video, what we are going to be talking about, or what I will be showing you, will be in two parts. Part A would be on the things that you need to be aware of, facts about this UK visitor's visa that the gov.uk has told us about. And the second part is going to be about documents that you would need when you are applying for the standard visitor's visa. You may or may not need a visitor's visa or even a visa if you are entering the UK for the first time. Some countries would permit you with your passport, you can enter into the UK without any visa like the US. But for those who don't know if they need a visa to enter the UK, I'm going to leave the link in the description box to help you assess yourself and see if you need a visa or not. The link is going to be in the description box. So you can visit the UK for up to 6 months, and some of the things that you can visit the UK to do within that duration of time varies. A couple of those things are visiting the country for tourism, or if you're coming on holiday, you can also visit the country to visit friends and family members. You can also come on a visitor's visa for medical treatment, to volunteer with a registered charity for up to 30 days. You can also come in to do short courses or to do studies for up to 6 months. Another thing you can come into the country through a visitor's visa for is for business and for people who have interviews. Say all those people who come to perform, like artists, you can visit the country as well for paid events. And you can also come into the country if you have an exam. So like registered nurses or doctors who want to come into the country through like the self-sponsorship route, you can come into the country through a visitor's visa. Now my next video is going to be all about self-sponsorship routes for nurses who are considering coming into the country to write their OSCE exam. So be on the lookout for that if you are a nurse and you are interested in this process. And then the last thing on my list would be to visit the country on a transit visa. Not everybody would be aware, but if you are transiting through the UK, say maybe you are traveling to another country and you probably have a layover in, say, Heathrow Airport, and you are touching UK soil, you need to apply for a transit visitor's visa. And that amount itself is about £64. But if you are applying for a standard visitor's visa, the amount you would pay is £115. So it varies. So today's video is going to focus on those coming into the country to visit friends and family members, or for those who are coming on holiday. If you are visiting the country to get married to someone, the visitor's visa that you would apply, or the visa that you would apply for, is different. But today's video, like I said, is focusing on those who are coming to visit friends and family members, or who are coming for holiday. Now, the duration of the visa that could be applied for differs. You could apply for the standard visitor's visa for up to 6 months, or you could apply for a long-term visitor's visa, and it varies. You have the one of 2 years, of 5 years, of 10 years. Their prices are different as well. I'm going to leave it on the screen so that you can be aware if you are interested in that duration. So there are about 4 things that you need to prove to the immigration officer when you are applying for the standard visitor's visa. If you are able to prove this, I believe that your visa is going to be approved. You will not have any issues with the immigration officer. So after I list the 4 things that you need to prove to the immigration officer, I will then tell you about the documents that you need to upload to prove them. So number 1, you need to prove what you will be doing in the UK. That is the reason for your visit into the country. Are you coming for a conference? Are you coming to write an exam? Are you coming for holiday? Are you coming for a paid event? You need to prove all of that. So that's number 1. Number 2, you need to prove that you will leave the UK at the end of your visit. You're not going to stay back in the country. So that's number 2. Number 3, you would need to prove that you will be able to support yourself. And if you're coming with your dependent, you need to prove that you will support both yourself and your dependent when you come into the country. So that would be things like your accommodation, your return flight to and from your home country. You would also have to show funds that you can feed yourself and transportation while you are in the country. Sometimes people would have sponsors, people that can sponsor them, so they don't necessarily have to show all of this information about themselves that they are funding their trip. So if you have a sponsor, your sponsor can cover up this aspect for you. The 4th thing that you also need to prove is that you will not live in the UK for extended period of time, meaning that you're not making the UK your second home. There are people who say because you have a visitor's visa that lasts you 6 months, you come in, stay in for 6 months, you go back, stay in your home country for a week, and then you come back again. That kind of thing would tell the UK that something is fishy in this area. So they don't want you to stay in the country and make it your second home by coming in through a visitor's visa. The documents that you need to prove all of these items that I had listed earlier on. Number 1, for you to prove your reason for coming into the country. So take for example, if you are coming in on a conference, have you been invited? Your invitation letter, you would need that. If you're coming to write your OSCE exam or your PLAB exam, you would need an invitation letter. If you're coming for a paid event, you need the invitation as well. You need reservation if you're coming on holiday. So people who come in for holidays, you need to show that, okay, you've booked reservation to see maybe this tourist attraction site, or you've booked to do one event or the other. You need to show all of that. For those who are coming to visit their friends and family members, these are some things that you would need to show. So your friend and family member that is here in the UK, are they legal, legal migrants or legal people in the country? So first off, they need to show like their biometric residence permit. They need to show the biodata page of their passport. They need to write an invitation letter saying they're inviting you over and the reason why they are inviting you over. So all of that should be stated in the invitation letter. Ensure that the person that you are using is a legal migrant in the country. It's not somebody that is illegal, because if it is, what is going to happen is they will reject your application and they will deport the person. So it is 2-0. So please ensure that the person you are using is legal in the country. And then for the person that is inviting you over, the person needs to prove like their relationship with you. So WhatsApp conversations, things like pictures, conversations that people have had in the past, things that would show that you have a relationship with this person, is not something that you are coercing somebody to do for you. So ensure that you have all of those things. A lot of people that I have seen and that I've heard of took a lot of evidence. That's the thing. You will not be penalized for uploading a lot of evidence, but if you then upload something that is not enough, then you will be penalized for it, because they might tell you that the information that you have given, the evidence that you have shown, is not enough to show that you have a relationship with this person. So if you are in a situation where, say, your partner is sending you money back and forth, show all of that transaction. If you have taken pictures in the past, show all of that. If it's your sister or your siblings or your parents and you have pictures together right when you were little till now, things like that, show all of that, because that would help in proving that you have a relationship with this person. So the second point is to prove that you are going to leave the country at the end of your stay here in the UK. Now let me give you an example. Somebody like Dangote. Dangote is like the richest man. I could be wrong, but I think he's like top of the richest people in Nigeria. If he is applying for a visitor's visa into the UK, his visa is going to be approved. And do you know why? That's because he has businesses to return to. He has family members to return to. So the UK government wants to see that proof when you are applying for a visitor's visa. If you are coming into the country, you need to show that you're not coming into then, sneak into the system and get hidden somewhere in the system and you don't return return back to your home country. They don't want people to access public funds on a visitor's visa. When you are applying for your visitor's visa, you need to show that you will return back home. And one way that you can do that, for people who have jobs, like good jobs, you need to show that you've got a good job. If you're a student, you need to show that you are in school. If you have your own business that you are running at home, back in your home country, you need to show that. And so with your good job, something that you can show is your pay slips. You can show your offer letter when you got the job. You can show that. For people who are running their businesses, if you've got like invoices, bank statements, you can show all of that. For people who have family members at home, you can show, pictures of your family members at home, pictures of things that would take you back home, not things that would retain you here in the country. So you can show all of that. And if you are a student, something you can do is show your admission letter. If you are coming in for a certain duration of time, you can show your academic calendar that shows that during that period that you are applying to visit the country, you are on break, and then you will go back before the end of your break so that you can return back to your school. You can also get a letter from your school saying that yes, you are a student of this school and you are doing so and so and so course, just to show that yes, you are legitimately studying in that school. So for people who have jobs still, I forgot to make mention, but if you are coming into the country to visit, you need to ensure that you get a letter of approval of your annual leave when you are coming to visit the country, because that's something to prove that you're not staying back in the country at the end of your visit. You're going back because you have a job to go back to. So you need to ensure that your pay slips, like I said, your letter of approved annual leave, and then you need to show your bank statement. Your bank statement would show that okay, you've got payments coming in at the end of the month from so and so and so employer or so and so organization. It tells you that you are being paid every month, and that covers you, and that will prove that you've got like a good job for you to return to. And for people who run their businesses, you need to have like your registered business certificate, all of those things. It gives you credits, and it will show that okay, this person has a business that the person is returning to. So for point number 3, where it talks about you proving that you can support yourself or support your dependents when you come into the country, to be honest, there is no specific amount that they have cited that you have to, show proof of when you are applying for a visitor's visa. They are very smart. But what I'm going to say is, if you are going to be staying in the country for say 2 days or for 3 weeks or for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is that you're going to be showing should cover for that duration and be a little bit surplus as compared to somebody who is going to apply with something less. So take for example, if you are coming into the country, you need to show that you have accommodations booked already. There are some booking sites that you don't have to pay the money, but you can reserve. So if you are not sure if your application is going to be successful, you can go on those sites and reserve the accommodation, apply with that proof, and then closer to the date you can pay for your accommodation. That's that with accommodation. If you are going to take for example, say your return flight, you need to book that. So you need to show proof that that has been booked to and fro, not just single, not one way. You need to book your return ticket back to your home country at the end of the duration that you have stated that you want to stay in the country. Money for food, you need to indicate that in your bank statement. You need to show all of that you have enough money. Now, if you have somebody who is sponsoring you and the person said, okay, I'm going to take care of everything, so your feeding, your accommodation and things like that, the person would have to show that they have somewhere that they are staying. So if they are renting, if they have a mortgage, they need to show like the tenancy agreement of the place. If they are renting, they also need to show that okay, they have enough money in their account to sponsor you. So that has to be indicated in their bank statement. So ensure that all of these are being considered when you are applying for a visitor's visa. Your sponsor would also have to upload about 6 months of their pay slips and also 6 months bank statement. They also have to show proof that they have a relationship with you, and it has to be stated in the invitation letter that you would upload when you are applying for the standard visitors visa. And this is just all for you to show proof that, okay, you are coming into the country and you're being sponsored by this person. It would all be indicated in the application. And the fourth thing I had highlighted is that you need to prove that you're not going to make the UK your second home. Now, one way that you can prove that is if you have got a good immigration history. So there are quite a number of people who has traveled from one country to another. So when you have like those stamps on your passport, it indicates that, okay, this person, when this person travels to this country, the person goes back. The person does not stay and sneak away for them to stay back in the country. So no, when you have good immigration history, it shows that you will go back to your home country. Another way for you to prove that you're not going to make the UK your second home is when you are doing that whole process of indicating you have got a job back home in your country, you have a business that you're going back to, you have a school that you are going back to, you have studies that is ongoing and things like that. That indicates that, okay, you're not going to make the UK your second home. So ensure that you upload all of the documents, all of the evidences that you can find. Like I said before, it is not too much. You will not be penalized if you upload too many documents with 40 pictures or 50 pictures. You will not be penalized. The only thing that would go wrong is if you do not upload enough to convince the immigration officer that your application is true and that you're not going to stay back, then your application might be rejected. And we don't want that. So ensure that when you are putting in your application, apply with all of the documents that you can find and all of the documents that you have. Even if you feel as if it is unnecessary, please do apply with those documents. Remember that the documents that you would need would differ from person to person depending on your situation and depending on what is peculiar to you. So ensure that when you are applying for a standard visitors visa, you apply with all of the evidences that you have and all of the details, the documents and everything that are in your possession. If you want me to do further videos on applying for a standard visitors visa here in the UK, please do let me know in the comment section. If you need clarity or further information, please do let me know. I'm thinking of doing it as a playlist. I've not decided yet, but if this is something that you would want me to do, I'm thinking on doing a video on like the step-by-step guide on how to fill the visa application form. I have thoughts about top reasons why UK visitors visas are usually denied, and I'm probably thinking about doing a video on like sample of an invitation letter that one would need when applying for a standard visitors visa. So if this is something that you would be interested in, please do let me know in the comment section. And I hope you have liked the video so far, you have shared it, you have subscribed to the channel if this is something that tickles your fancy. And I want to say thank you so much for all of your support. God bless you and have a good day.